Trio queue is one of the most common ways to play Rainbow Six Siege. Many friend groups don't have enough people on at one time to play in a 5-stack. Trio queue is just that perfect middle ground where you get to have a majority of the players on your team be your friends, while still not having enough to eliminate the issue of randoms. However, the majority of strategies that would work for a traditional 5-stack won't work in a trio queue. And that is because of the operators necessary and the lack of manpower that a team of 3 has. So in today's video, I'll be showing you some of my favorite strategies for attacking and defending in a trio queue that will hopefully help you win more of your games. And I'll be showing you what maps and bomb sites they perform best on. Timestamps for each strategy will be down in the description for your viewing experience. Now let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, before I go any further, I do just want to say that every strategy in this video is going to be universal. And most of the strategies in this video are just going to be operator synergies that you can abuse on majority of maps. However, for the sake of today's video, I'll be demonstrating each strategy on the maps and the bomb sites that I think they perform best on. The first of those strategies is bringing a Sins, Glaz, and Ying together. And my favorite bomb site to do this strategy on is on Hookah. The reason for this is because you can have your Glaz get on the Hookah window rappel here. You can have your Ying get on the double window rappel. And what you're gonna wanna have your Sins do is you're gonna have him walk over to the Hookah door here. And since your Glaz is on the window right there, you're gonna want to throw one Sins wall here, one Sins wall deeper into the site right about there, and then one onto Vase. And then you're going to run past the smoke after your Glaz has started taking fights on people in the rotates and stuff. And you're going to run through the smokes and try to take any gunfights on anyone on Cool Vibes. Once you've taken the gunfights on people on Cool Vibes, eventually your Sins walls will disappear, or you can just walk through them and you can start taking fights onto people inside of Pink, inside of 90, and you can eventually get your team ready to go for a plant. And what your Glaz player is going to be doing is he's just going to be sitting on that window watching through your smoke grenades, and your Ying player is just going to be spamming candelas into the Pink and the pool area of the bomb site, so they're completely blind and they can't take gunfights on you. So this also allows you to deal with a warden if the enemy team brings one and has him play inside a pool. That can kind of kill the strategy. But if you have Ying sit here and throw candelas in here, she can then take the gunfight on warden while you're walking through the smoke. So he's going to be distracted and incapable of taking a fight on you. And yeah, once you walk into the site and you take any gunfights on people in Pink and on Vase, you can then walk over here into the corner of Hookah and go for a plant while your Glaz covers, and you can throw more smoke walls if you believe that's necessary, and you can just plant in this corner and then run out of the bomb site. And then Glaz can just sit on that rappel the entire round and just take any gunfights on anyone who tries to deny your plan. Now, the next strategy revolves around bringing a Warden, Jaeger, or a Fenrir. Now, the reason this strategy is strong is because you have Warden with his shotgun to play behind a deployable shield. You have Jaeger's ADSs to protect that shield. And then you have Fenrir F-Nots to stack around Warden's shield, so that way if the attackers start pushing him and have to take an engagement on Warden while he's behind a deployable shield and while they're blind. And this bomb site that I really like to run this on is on Statue and Trophy on Villa. And what you're going to want to do at the start of the round is you're going to want to run over to the closet inside a master bedroom, put a deployable shield down here. And Warden's going to be doing all of this, by the way. You're going to have him put a shotgun hole here. You're going to reinforce these 2 closet walls. And you're going to have him put head holes here, here, and you're going to have him put a rotate on the Astro wall here. Once this rotate is here, you can then just reinforce the middle wall. And then as Warden, you're just going to go back into the closet and play behind this shield. And I'll now quickly show you how Jaeger and Fenrir are going to want to place their gadgets and also their reinforcements on this strategy. Now, for Jaeger, what you're going to want to have him do is you're going to want to have him run over into Master here and put 2 ADSs on the closet, protecting that shield that Warden placed down. And then you're going to have him put 1 ADS on the closet here. And then you're going to want to have him put his BP right here on the master wall that's reinforced. And then after you place that, you're then going to run over to the 4 wall here, reinforce this, and you're going to run and reinforce the 90 wall for your teammates. After that, you're then going to just run over into Astro, and you're going to play inside of Astro to kind of support your Warden player. The reason why you want Jaeger to play here is so that way if they bring an Ace or a Habana and they try to open this closet wall to kind of force Warden out of that position, you can just shoot the utility off the wall here, and they then have to take a gunfight on Jaeger and Warden at the same time to be able to force Warden out of this closet position. This is a really strong power position with just these 2 players, but that additional Fenrir will be a huge help as well. Now, your Fenrir player, what you're going to have him do is run over to the closet here, put footholes on this part of the door here. Then you're going to have him run into Master here, put 1 F-Knot on the window, on the fireplace window here, 1 F-Knot on the other window right here, one F-Not on the closet window on the top. And then the last F-Not is going to go on the bathroom window on top as well. Then you're going to have him put a BP inside of Astro right here on this window. And then once you have him put that F-Not, and then once you have him put that BP down, you're then going to have Fenrir just play inside of the bomb site on these head holes and also on the fireplace door to support the warden player. So that way, if they try to vault into the master windows or anything, you can take any gunfights as soon as the traps go off. And based on where your teammate in the closet's calling out, you can then rotate these F-Nots around accordingly if the attackers are no longer playing on the windows that you have your F-Nots on. And yeah, you're just going to sit here along with your Jaeger, and you guys are basically just going to shut down the attackers from actually executing onto the site. And you'll just have to hope that your randoms are smart enough to be able to roam off site effectively. Now, the next strategy involves bringing a Montane, a Finka, and an Ace. The reason why this strategy is strong is because it allows you to bring the Montane, which can allow you to take power positions and stuff with the EMPs, so that way you can help your Ace get walls open. And then you have the Finka on top of that to help Montane deal with any explosive damage that he might get dealt, and also to help him ADS a lot quicker and take gunfights more effectively. So at the start of the round, you're going to want to have your Montane and your Ace go up to the balcony outside of CCTV here, and you're going to have your Ace and your Montane work together to open this wall. You're going to throw EMPs on whatever electronic utility they have on the wall, and then you're just going to have your Ace throw the charges on the wall. And then once Ace gets that wall open, you guys are just going to leave the wall for your randoms to play on. And then Ace is going to rotate over to bottom garage here, and he's going to open a crouchable hole in this left wall here. This will allow him to crouch into garage and to help you guys take gunfights on catwalk if he needs to. Then once Ace gets that wall open, you're then going to have Montane go over to the garage door here with the help of Finka, and you're going to have him walk over to catwalk. Then once you ping the location of a defender, Finka will then peek them and start taking engagements on them, and she'll also start healing you if you start taking damage and stuff. And then if the defender gets distracted with Finka, you can then bait him by un-ADSing, so that way he looks towards you, and then Finka can take the gunfight. And you're just going to sit up here and keep, you know, unshielding, shielding, kind of forcing that defender back into the corner. And then Ace is going to start sneaking his way into garage through that breach that he made while you're doing this, and then trying to take a gunfight on the defender from lower garage. So now the defender on Raptor is going to have to be worrying about 3 different people inside a garage, not to mention the people that you might have on the breach, like your randoms and stuff. Once you're able to kill this guy by either Finka killing them, or Finka nading them, or Ace killing them through the slits, or even you ADSing on him and killing him, you're then going to want to continue to advance. And then once you're here, you're either going to want to have your Finka smoke off the red door if she has smokes, or your Ace, if he has an extra Ace charge, open a hole where these head holes normally are, or a hole right here on the reinforcement. And then you guys are just going to want to walk inside of the site, have Monty plant behind the bomb, and then Ace and Finka can watch you from the breach if you don't have randoms, and the garage, or they can both hold garage and just one of them hold the head holes and one of them hold the window into red. And yeah, once you get this plant down, you're then just going to fully extend and then back out of the bomb site, going through the breach here, and then you're just going to sit and wait for someone to try to go for the diffuser. And then once they try to go for the diffuser, you're obviously going to unshield and then try to take the gunfight on them. Now the next strategy revolves around bringing a mute, a Mozzie, and a Vigil. And the reason why this combo is strong is because it allows you to take advantage of the mute and the Mozzie and the Vigil to basically deny the attackers from being able to drone you effectively. And when you have Mozzie and Vigil roam together on whatever map, it doesn't really matter. It makes it a lot harder for the attack to deal with your roamers. And if you stack mute jammers with those roamers, which is what I'm going to be demonstrating now, it will make that effort even more difficult for the attack. So the bomb site I'm going to be showing this on is going to be the basement bomb site on Bank, and what you're going to want to do is have your mute player immediately make their way upstairs. And what mute is going to do is he's going to reinforce the open area hatches. You're going to have him reinforce both of them. You're then going to have him put a shotgun rotate here into admin, going into archives here. You're going to have him put a mute jammer on the admin door. You're going to have him put a mute jammer on the window into printer here. You're then going to have him run over to blue here, and you're going to have him pop this hatch. And you're going to have him put a mute jammer right here on bottom square. And then you're going to have him put his last mute jammer over here on dirt on his way back to the bomb site. And yeah, once you've done that, mute is then just going to play inside of CCTV here inside of the bomb site and kind of just play in the site with hopefully the other 2 randoms and kind of just stop the attackers from actually pushing directly on site while your roamers are upstairs. Now for Mozzie, what you're going to want to have him do at the start of the round is immediately run upstairs to lobby and get the lobby hatch, and then you're gonna have him get the elevator hatch. Then once you've had him done that, you're then going to have him to put a pest on white stairs here. You're gonna have him put a pest on the lobby stairs here, and you're gonna have him set up a pest over here on the square double door. Once you've had him set up those pests, you're then going to have Mozzie play inside of CEO. You'll have Vigil use his impacts and his boss G to make head holes and stuff up here to support you. And basically Mozzie and Vigil are just going to play on the top floor of the map. And then when the attackers start pressuring them really hard, they're either going to fall back to lobby or down the hatches. Or if the attackers don't push them at all, you're then just going to have Vigil and Mozzie flank the enemy team when they don't expect it. Now for the final operator Vigil, you're going to want to have him just help the team set up the bomb site while Mozzie and Mute set up upstairs, and you're just gonna reinforce the site walls, the default site walls, make all of the default rotates with your boss G and all the default head holes and stuff. You can also use some impacts if you deem that necessary. And then once you've done like all the default stuff and you know all of your randoms have done the default stuff, you're then gonna have Vigil run upstairs immediately, and you're gonna have him to make a rotate into janitor, a crouchable one, and then you're gonna have him use his boss G to open up the janitor hatch here. Now, the reason why opening the janitor hatch is important is because it can allow you to take fights on the people that try to come for the hatches, and it also allows you to drop down it if the enemy team starts pressuring you really hard on the second floor. And yeah, you as Vigil, you're just gonna play inside of conference room here. You're also gonna set up head holes across the square wall that you can use your boss G to take advantage of. And yeah, you're just gonna play inside of exec and inside of meeting with Mozzie, and you guys are both just gonna try to hold off the attackers from pushing the top floor of the map. And like I said earlier with Mozzie, you're then just going to, as applicable, rotate to different parts of the map and take fights on the attackers. Now the next strategy revolves around you bringing an Amaru, a Grim, and a Lion. And the basis for this strategy is basically on bomb sites where there's a window either directly nearby or inside of the bomb site, especially maps with multiple levels like Skyscraper, Cafe, or like Skyscraper, Cafe, or in this example, Consulate. You can have Amaru rappel through the window, Lion activate an E1D, and Grim sit on the window and throw bees into the site, or sit on a different window and throw bees into the site. So that way your Amaru can go for a plant in the window she just repelled through. Now, this is a very aggressive strategy and a very risky one, but it is a lot of fun and can actually be pretty awarding, especially against teams that are less coordinated. So for this example, I'm going to be showing you how I use this strategy on the top floor of Consulate. At the start of the round, you're going to want to have Amaru and you're going to want to have Grim rotate to this window right here. Now, once you make it to this window, you're going to want to make for sure that Amaru has the diffuser, and then you're going to want to have Grim sit on the window right here, ready to start spamming Grim bees into the site. And then you're going to want to have your other teammate Lion start making his way up yellow stairs. You're going to drone him in, and you're going to have him work his way up yellow stairs. And then you're going to set a flank cam for him right here. Once Lion makes it up to the top of the yellow stairs and starts taking gunfights in bathroom and like distracting the enemy team, and they start looking in his direction, you're then going to have him pop an E1D. You're going to have Amaru rappel through the window, and Grim, once I get into the site, is going to start spamming bees into the site. And then I'm going to plant in this corner right here on the console, cabinet here. And if Grim plays this properly and he sits on the window and starts spamming bees, then anyone who tries to swing me while I'm planting in this corner is going to get shot. Now, you do have to worry about someone being in this corner behind the console desk here, because they can just shoot you immediately. But as long as you have Lion drone ahead to ensure there's no one here, then you're pretty much good to go to rappel through here. And if there is someone here, then you can just go below and shoot them through the floor or something to force them out of this position. And yeah, once you get this plant down in this corner, you're then going to have Amaru spam flashbangs into the bomb site and then jump out. And then Amaru is going to play on this window along with Grim, and then Lion's just going to play top yellow, and you guys are just going to hold this position so that way they can't realistically do anything about the diffuser there, and they basically lost the round. Now, our next trio Q strategy is a little more straightforward, but I still think it's worth pointing out, and it's worth considering in your lineup. And that strategy is bringing a Cade, bandit, and a two-brow. The reason why this is a good idea is for obvious reasons. Having a Cade, bandit, and a two-brow can allow you to shut down a large amount of walls and can delay the amount of time the attackers have to use to open said walls significantly. And the example I'm going to use for this strategy is basement on Chalet, because I think it's a really good example of a bomb site that has a lot of walls that need to be electrified. So at the start of the round, you're going to want to run over here into garage, and you're going to want to reinforce these two walls as Cade. Then after you have Cade reinforce these two walls, you're going to have him put head holes across here, and then you're going to have him run upstairs and get the two hatches. So the first hatch is over here in fireplace, and then the second hatch is over here inside of dining room, right in this corner. Now, after you've gotten these hatches, you're then going to go back to the bomb site. And then once you get inside the site, you're going to want to throw an electric claw right here on this wall. And then you're going to want to throw an electric claw on the connector hatch here. And once you've done that with Cade, you're then just going to play inside of the bomb site and kind of support your team, kind of stop them from, you know, pushing into blue, pushing down main stairs, or pushing into trench. And you're just going to sit inside the site and periodically hop on cameras and stuff. Basically, in this strategy, your entire 3 stack is going to be playing inside of the site, and you're going to be relying on your randoms to do the roaming. Now, the next operator you're going to want to bring on the side is a bandit, and what you're going to have him do at the start of the round is run over to the back of wine, reinforce this wall here. And then once you reinforce those two walls, you're then going to run over and reinforce this here. And once you've done that, you're also going to want to make a rotate here. You can obviously have Cade do this. I just forgot to mention it when I was discussing Cade. And then after you've done that, you're then ready to play inside of the site in the position you're going to play in, which is right over here on Snowmobile Garage. You're going to use your bandit batteries to bandit trick on Snowmobile Garage. Now, you can either use 4 of them if you feel like you're going to need 4, because that will be useful for you. For example, if they start throwing EMPs and stuff and they disable your first set of bandit batteries that are on the wall, you can then just immediately put down 2 more without having to worry about picking bandit batteries back up. But if you feel like you can do it with just 2, then you can put your other 2 bandit batteries over here on this back wall to stop them from getting this open. Either one is a good decision. It just kind of depends on what you're comfortable with. But yeah, throughout the round, you're just going to sit here and play on the garage wall and try to bandit trick. And then if they start playing vertically on you or something, then you can just fall back and just let them have access to the wall, because you're going to have a two-brow that can help you as well. And as I've mentioned, the final operator is two-brow. What you're going to want to have him do is run over and reinforce this back wine wall. And once you've reinforced that, you're pretty much free to do whatever you want. You can just help your team set up the other reinforcements I mentioned. And then throughout the round is two-brow. You're just going to want to play right here on the main stairs and kind of periodically peek out on people that are trying to play vertically and try to like help bandits stop them from playing vertically. But if they take control of trench or they take control of outside garage and they start pressuring bandit heavily, then you're going to want to position yourself wherever they're about to breach. So whether that be garage or if they've taken trench control, you're going to want to position yourself where they're about to breach. And then when they go to put utility on the wall and they start blowing it, you're going to want to throw your freeze canisters onto the wall, so that way their gadgets are frozen and they have to wait out the entire duration of the canister before the breach will continue. And then right before your canister is about to run out, you throw another one. And then you continue to do that until you're out of canisters, which this alone will delay 30 seconds off of the enemy team's time, which is massive. Trust me, it may seem like a small amount and it may seem insignificant, but it can be an absolute game changer in whether or not you win a round. Now, the next strategy revolves around bringing an Iana, a Deimos, and a Dokkaebi. And the reason why you want to bring those 3 operators is because A, their gadgets allow you to roam clear really effectively. Since you have infinite drones on Iana, you have the Deimos scans that can allow you to reveal positions of the defenders, and you have the Dokkaebi calls that can allow you to further reveal the positions of defenders and also interrupt their cameras. Then you get the EMPs, then you get the impact EMPs on Dokkaebi that can help you deal with any sort of electronic utility, and you bring the secondary hard breaches on Deimos, which can allow you to open hatches. And on a map like Bank, this is extremely effective, which is why I'm going to be demonstrating this strategy as if I was attacking the bottom floor bomb site on Bank. At the start of the round, if you are attacking the bottom bomb site on Bank, you're going to want to have your Iana player get on position on top square here, and you're going to want to have her open this barricade and use her Iana Gemini to drone out the top floor of the map. While she's doing this, you're also going to have Deimos positioned on the stock windows over there, and you're also going to have your Dokkaebi player playing on the main lobby side of the map, so that way if any of the roamers try to run away to main lobby, you can kill them immediately as soon as they do so. And yeah, with your Gemini, you're just going to check these areas, and if you see a defender, you're going to try to ping them so that way Deimos can get can use his gadget. And if Deimos can then ping them, you're then gonna have Deimos ping them so that way they're pressured to run away. And Deimos is gonna try to take fights on those roamers that are up here, and he's gonna call out to your Dokkaebi wherever the location of those defenders are. And if they start running in the direction towards main lobby, Dokkaebi will be there ready to take the gunfight on them. And yeah, once you've roamed, cleared the top floor of the map, you're then gonna do the same thing to the first floor. You're gonna drone that out with Iana's Gemini clones, and you're also gonna have Deimos activate his scans and stuff on your roamers down there. And then you're gonna have Dokkaebi help you clear those roamers out by taking gunfights from the first floor since she's all the way in lobby. And you're gonna have her take gunfights on those roamers since she's already in main lobby. And yeah, once you've taken control of the second floor and the first floor, you're then going to have your Dokkaebi and your Deimos use their impact EMPs and their hard breach charges to get this hatch open and to get this hatch open. And then you're going to leave Dokkaebi up here to play on the hatches. You're going to have Iana and Deimos go over to blue, and you're going to have them push down blue. Once they've taken control of blue and they've also taken control of server, you're then ready to try to go for a site execute. What this is going to involve is you smoking the door to the bomb site, smoking the rotate, and then you're going to run in and plant behind this bomb. Now, this is going to be difficult because they might bring nitro cells and stuff, and if they do, or if they start pressuring you really hard from that rotate, you can have Dokkaebi drop the hatch and try to kill anyone inside of red while you're planting. And then once you get the plant down, you're then just going to run out of the bomb site the way you came, or you're going to run deeper into the bomb site onto the cover near the reinforcements, and you're just going to try to hold this position and stop the defenders from running into the site and killing you. You do have to be wary of people trying to run up the stairs, up main stairs, and taking back control of these hatches. So you're going to want either some form of cameras upstairs, or you're going to want to have someone playing on those hatches 24/7, so that way that can't happen. Now, our next strategy revolves around bringing in Echo, a Scopos, and a Cade. Now, this combination may seem confusing, but it'll make sense once I explain. The reason why this is a strong strategy is because you can bring Echo, have his drones go upstairs with your Scopos or wherever you're roaming. It doesn't have to necessarily be upstairs, just your Echo drones can follow your Scopos wherever they're roaming and give them call outs, and also disorient opponents that they're going up against to give them advantages in gunfights. And Scopos at any moment during the round, based on the intel you give them, can decide to teleport back to the bomb site and save their life. So because of the intel that you're providing with your cameras, not only can Scopos make better decisions and just fall back to the site with a click of a button, but she can also have an advantage in almost every gunfight she takes. So trust me, this is a really good combo. And the reason why I bring the Cade is just so you can help your team on the site, because on most bomb sites you're going to have a Cade of some sort, and you don't want Echo to have a ton of pressure on site while he's trying to help Scopos with his drones. And I think the best bomb site to demonstrate this is going to be Armory and Throne. And so what you're going to want to do at the start of the round on this bomb site specifically is have Echo run over and reinforce both of the Throne walls. Once these walls are reinforced, you're then going to want to run over to Furnace over here, and you're going to want to put your shield down in the corner right here. This will allow you to play behind a shield and kind of fight anyone that tries to walk in through split. And it'll also give you a safe position to play behind while you're using your cameras. And yeah, you're going to want to throw both your cameras out, and you're going to want to put one camera in a area that's going to be useful for gathering intel for Scopos. So let's say Scopos is roaming upstairs in control. You're going to put your camera like top dragon, for example, so that way you can hear if anyone's going cache and you can kind of drone that area out. And you can also tell Scopos whether there's anyone coming through dragon, and you can also rotate the drone over to maintenance. And then the other drone is also going to go in a position that's helpful for the roamer, but on the opposite side of the map. So since we already have a camera on the dragon side of the map, we're then going to move our other Echo drone over to the like waiting area, I would suggest, or you can put it in the hallway outside of waiting. And then you're just going to use this drone to gather intel from the enemy team. And you can also use them to disorient enemies, like I've said before, which is going to be useful for helping Scopos take gunfights. And as the round goes on, if your Scopos either comes back to the site, or if the enemy team knows about your cameras and they're starting to pressure them really hard, you can try to rotate them back to the bomb site, so that way you can deny the plant later in the round. But you can't spend all of your time in the round on your cameras. You are going to have to get off your cameras occasionally, like help your anchors fight people in the bomb site. And especially if your anchors start dying, you're going to have to just give up those cameras and just make an effort to focus on actually taking on gunfights on the site. Now for Scopos, what you're going to want to have her do at the start of the round is run into dragon and reinforce these walls. And then you're going to want to have her go wherever she plans on roaming. In this case, it's going to be upstairs. And you're going to want to have her reinforce the hatches or anything else that would be important coordinate for her roam. So in this case, that's just going to be this one singular hatch. And then once you get this open, you're then going to leave one of your scope hosts upstairs, and then you're going to teleport to your other shield downstairs in the bomb site, and you're going to move it to a more advantageous position for yourself. That lowers its risk of getting shot, naded, or whatever if the attackers start opening walls or something. Now on this site specifically, there's a couple spots I can think of. One is on Furnace, but since your Echo's already playing there, you can also put it behind the throne right here, because most teams don't go for Barrel's wall. And if they do, then you can just teleport back to this and move it if you need to. And then another position that you can try to put it is right here facing maintenance wall. Either way, these are going to be tough spots to teleport to later in the round if the enemy team has opened a large amount of the walls. So if you're on a bomb site like this where there's a lot of walls that you have to worry about, or a lot of windows, you can choose to put the Scopos shield outside of the bomb site, somewhere like, for example, inside of lab here. You can kind of tuck it in the corner and then just teleport back to it to flank the attackers later in the round. Doesn't really matter. And once you've set your shield wherever you decide, you're then going to go upstairs on that scope post that you left where you plan on roaming, and you're just going to play up here until whenever the pressure gets too much. If the attackers start droning you out heavily, you start getting surrounded, or you get in a gunfight and get lowered to really low HP, you're then just going to hop on your Scopos and you're just going to teleport immediately. And you're just going to fall back directly to the bomb site, and you're just going to give them whatever area you were roaming. This can waste a lot of time from the attackers, and if you play it right, can result in them not getting any sort of reward for it. Because if you teleport away and you're at full HP again, then they kind of lost all their pressure. The only thing they might get is a few Echo drones from dealing with your Echo that has cameras in the area. But other than that, they're not really getting much out of the encounter. Now, the final operator is obviously Cade, and his job is really just to electrify any walls on the site. You don't really have to do much with him. So at the start of the round, you're going to want to run over to Armory here, reinforce these walls. And since most teams don't go for Barrel's wall, I'd recommend just electroclawing this Armory wall, and also getting the throne wall over there, the maintenance wall here. And once you throw that electroclaw, you can then reinforce this Barrel's wall on the left here, just to stop anyone from peeking into split at an aggressive angle. And yeah, once you've done that, you can pretty much just play on the site. On bomb sites where there is a decent amount of flooring that's soft like this, you can have Cade use the Echo drones that Echo has where the roamer is to like kind of get an idea of where the attackers are standing, and then you can use his nitro cell to kill anyone from below that Echo has eyes on. So this can be a strong strategy on maps like Canal. If you have information, you can play in the basement bomb site and then just immediately blow up a nitro cell as soon as anyone walks past a doorway or something, which can definitely be a strong way to improve this strategy as well. But overall, Cade's just going to be playing inside of the bomb site, not really doing much other than just anchoring like you normally would, unless there is something specific that you need him to do, like in the example that I just provided where he throws nitro cells using Echo's intel. Now our next strategy revolves around bringing a fuse, a nomad, and a dokubi, so that you can play vertically on whatever bomb site you decide to play vertically onto. This can apply to pretty much any map in the game. I'm just going to be using Chalet Garage as my example in this video, but like I've said before, all of these strategies work on pretty much any bomb site, and that applies to this strategy especially. So what you're going to want to do at the start of the round is you're going to want to have your dokubi and your nomad go over to the library side of the map and start droning that out. And what you're going to want to have fuse do is start droning out the office and the master side of the map. Just ignore the fact that this is the bomb site, but you're just going to drone out this part of the map. And once your drones kind of meet up generally in the library hallway area, you're then going to leave one drone on the flank right here. You can have whoever do that, and then once you've done that, you're then going to start droning the first floor. So you're going to want to drone down library stairs, you're going to want to drone into gaming, you're also going to want to drone into bar and everything, and then you're going to want to leave a flank drone right here. And you're also going to want to have nomad put a air jab right here on the dining hallway right above the doorway, and you're going to want to have nomad put one on top of the piano door, and then the last air jab you're going to want nomad to place is on the basement blue stairs. Once you've set up all those air jabs and you've set up all that utility and you've roam cleared everything using those dokubi calls to your advantage, you're then going to have a fuse place some cluster charges on this window and also on the balcony right here as well, and you're just going to have him spam cluster charges downstairs. And the reason you want to do this is because it makes vertical holes for you, and it also damages the players under the floor right here. So if there's anyone playing on the rotate or there's anyone playing on the condor here, it's going to damage those players. You can also do this on maps where there isn't vertical play by putting your cluster charges on a wall, for example. This is another good way that you can do this if you're not on Chalet. It will allow you to blow up floors. If you don't have a vertical surface, you're just probably going to have to put 2 cluster charges on the same spot back to back to be able to achieve a large amount of vertical holes. And then once you've set up the vertical holes that you need or deem necessary to peek into the bomb site and stop rotations and stuff, you're then gonna have Fuse use one of his hard breach charges along with Dokubi's EMPs on this hatch here, and then you're gonna have him rotate outside, and you're gonna have him put one hard breach charge right here on the wall with the help of Dokubi's EMPs once again. Now, once you've made this hole, you'd want this to be a crouchable rotate. I kind of messed it up and put it too high, but once you've made this hole and you're ready to execute on the site, you're then just going to have your Dokubi player walk down the main stairs. And once you have your Dokubi player walk down the main stairs, you're going to have your other player, which is Nomad, walk down blue and try to peek anyone on blue stairs. And then you're going to have your Dokubi push deeper into the site on this cabinet. And she's going to hold your con and your rotate, and you're going to vault in and try to go for a plant right here on the recycle bin. Once you get the plant down, you're then just going to go back out the breach you just made, and you're just going to sit out here and wait for the defense to try to go for the counter defuse on the bomb that you placed behind the recycle bin. Now, our next combination revolves around picking Valk, Maestro, and Pulse. And what the strategy allows you to do in trio queues is it allows your entire stack to play inside the bomb site and then use the cameras that you set up upstairs and also Pulse's scanner to nitro cell any of the attackers that move around upstairs. And since you have 2 nitro cells, it's going to allow you to pick up a lot of free picks by just sitting in the site. And this strategy can work on a large variety of maps. As long as it's a bomb site with soft floors, this will work. It's just really effective on Canal specifically, which is why I'm going to be demonstrating it on this basement bomb site. And what you're going to want to do with Valkyrie at the start of the round is you're going to want to have your Valkyrie immediately run upstairs and start reinforcing the hatches and stuff, so that way she can throw her Valk cams up here. Now, after she reinforces these hatches, you're then going to want to have her throw her Valkyrie cameras around. I like putting one right here because in that shelf right there, they're not going to see it when they peek the door because the boxes are going to cover it. So the only time they're going to see that Valkyrie camera is if they walk forward and then turn around, which there's going to be very few instances where the attackers are going to be looking in this direction. And by the time they're looking in this direction, you can nitro them through the floor with this Valkyrie camera. Then after that camera, the next camera that I like to throw is one in this corner right here, which will give you additional information on the hatch and also allow you to kill anyone that walks into meeting in this general area near the hatch. And then the last camera I like to throw is one in radio. You can kind of throw this one wherever you want. You can throw it in this corner right here, which is a really good spot, which will give you a significant portion of radio. And it's not really visible from this door at all. You'd have to walk in and specifically look in the corner, which makes it really strong for picking up kills inside of radio. Then after that, you're going to go back downstairs so that way you can use that nitro cell, like I mentioned, to pick up kills on any of the attackers that are moving around upstairs. So you'll just hop on your Valkyrie cameras periodically throughout the round, ping someone's location, walk to where the ping is, throw the nitro cell, and then you'll check the camera again, see if they're still there, and then blow it up. Now, your Pulse is basically just going to be in charge of setting up the bomb site during the prep phase, and then you're going to have him play with his, scanner over near the trench door here, so that way he can call out if any people start walking down the stairs and stuff, and so he can be ready to nitro cell anyone who walks in to meeting upstairs or into archives, and he can pick up a frag on them as well. So yeah, at the start of the round, you're just going to have him run around and set all the default reinforcements that you'd normally do. Then once he places all the default reinforcements, you're then just going to have him set on a scanner as I described earlier. So yeah, now that you've placed all the required reinforcements inside of the site, you're then just going to position yourself where you can use your scanner to pick up frags on any attackers walking upstairs. Now for Maestro, you're going to want to have him place his barbed wire down and set up his shotgun and use his shotgun to make the head holes in the rotates and stuff. So you're going to want to make this rotate right here in between the 2 sites. You're then going to want to put head holes across the top of this wall so that way you can peek on the main stairs. You're then going to want to do the same thing right here. Head holes across this wall. You're going to put barbed wire on scuba stairs with a Maestro cam as well. And then you're going to want to put another Maestro cam right here in the main hallway with another set of barbed wire on the stairs here. And then you're going to shotgun head holes across that trench wall there and put a Maestro cam right here. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, why do you need Maestro in this strategy, since you're just going to be sitting inside the bomb site and nitro selling people? Well, Maestro is the best fit for the strategy because he has to sit on cameras already throughout the entire round, so that way he can protect his Maestro cams. And while he's on these cameras, he can also hop on those Valkyrie cameras that I mentioned earlier and call out for Valkyrie, so that way Valkyrie can get some nitro cell picks on top of Pulse constantly calling out the position of the attackers as well. So now with this strategy, you're not only going to be able to deny the plant with your Maestro cams and also call out the position of where the attackers are moving on this floor, but you're also going to be able to call out the position of where people are on the first floor by using those Valkyrie cameras that I told you about earlier. Overall, this is a really strong strategy on bomb sites with a lot of soft floors, and I really enjoy running it. Now, the next strategy revolves around bringing in Ace, Kali, and a Buck. Now, the reason why this strategy is strong is because you can have your Ace and your Kali work together to get a wall open. Kali can sit outside of the breach and take advantage of her long range weapons, and Buck can also go below and help deal with any bandit trickers on a wall, and he can also play vertically on the site from below to help force defenders out of power positions that Kali can then take gunfights on. And the bomb site, I'm going to be demonstrating this on his penthouse because I think it works especially well here. So at the start of the round, you're going to want to have your Kali and your Ace rappel up to the VIP balcony here, and you're going to have Ace go ahead and open this VIP wall. You can open either side, it doesn't really matter. And then once the wall is open, Kali's going to sit here on this breach and kind of hold long angles into VIP and call out where the defenders are playing inside of here. If they have a player playing on the cabinet here on like a deployable shield, which is pretty common on this site, or if they have someone playing behind the black boxes, or if they have someone playing near the rotate, you're going to have Kali call that out, and then Buck's going to go below and start bucking onto those positions and taking fights on people under here. And once your team has cleared out VIP, you're then going to throw an Ace charge deeper into penthouse, and Kali is going to once again take advantage of this super long range angle to take fights on anyone coming from theater into the site or anyone playing in the back of penthouse. And once you've opened that wall, pretty much your job as Ace is done. You're then just going to start droning into Hall of Fame. You're going to drone into the penthouse bomb site itself. You're going to drone into theater, figure out where the defenders are playing inside of the site, and you're just going to call that information out so that way Buck can start taking fights on them from below. Your Buck might eventually die to a roamer flanking him, but as long as he's able to force defenders out of these power positions and in these tight corners, you're gonna have a lot easier of a time pushing into the site. And once you're ready to go for the plant, you're just gonna have your Kali sit on this breach and hold this long angle, and you're gonna have Buck play below inside of lobby and kind of make holes into the theater door so that way you can watch the theater door. And then you're gonna have your Ace player rotate all the way over to the penthouse double window, and then you're just gonna rappel in and go for a plant in this corner. With the way you have this set up right now, there's pretty much no way for the defense to stop you from getting this plant down. If they go through theater door, they can get sniped by Kali, and they can also get shot by Buck through the vert holes. If they try to walk through VIP and flank you, Kali is on that breach once again, so she can shoot anyone who tries to come to peek your breach. And if they try to nitro you from below, you have Buck below already to take that engagement as well. So you're just gonna plant in this corner, and then you're gonna go for the post plant by sitting outside on this rappel and just waiting for the defense to try to go for the defuse. Now, my next strategy revolves around bringing a Mira, a Wamai, and a Castle. And the reason why these operators are strong in a 3-stack is because you can bring the Mira to obviously have her mirror windows, and then you can bring Wamai and Castle to protect those mirror windows. You can place Castle barricades on doorways or windows that can offer the attackers an opportunity to shoot Mira in the back, and you can set up your magnets in front of Mira's mirror windows to stop them from using like ash charges and stuff to shatter the glass of Mira's windows. And I think one of the best bomb sites for this strategy is top floor on Cafe. And I'd recommend at the start of the round you run over and shotgun head holes across the freezer wall here. Then make a vaultable rotate right here on the right side of this wall. And then once you've made it over here, you're then going to want to put the mirror where you put the vaultable rotate, right here on this wall. And you're going to want to tuck it kind of close right, so that way it can't be shot from the window as easily. And if you did it right, all that soft wall that would normally be in the way of your mirror window is going to be out of the way. And now you can shoot people through those head holes there. Then you're going to want to run over to bathroom and reinforce this right wall here and this one as well. And you're going to want to make a vaultable rotate here as well. Then once you've done that, you're going to want to shotgun this counter out. Now, once you shotgun that bar out and you've opened that up, you have a couple of options. You can either place the mirror window on this wall, which is what I would probably recommend you do, or you can put the mirror window on this wall. This wall will allow you to see deeper into stage and allow you to see more of stage, which means they're going to have to clear 2 mirror windows to get rid of you out of this position. This mirror window allows you to see the default plant. And if I still had my nitro cell, I could then lob my nitro cell over to kill anyone near the bar and stuff. And if they try to go for a plant on default, you can shoot them through it pretty easily. So they can't really go for a plant on default at all. And as long as you place your castle barricades in the proper position, you're basically safe to play right here, as long as the enemy team doesn't open this wall with like an ace or something. You can even shotgun that wall out as well to give you even more lines of sight deeper into CS and stuff. So that way you can kill anyone who tries to walk in from CS. And it also gives you a deeper line of sight into new balcony there as well. But you do have to keep in mind that if the attackers take control of stage and they manage to clear your guy out of bathroom and they manage to get rid of this mirror window, they basically get this entire part of the map for free, and it's a lot easier for them to go for a plant. So whoever's in bathroom is going to have to stay here for as long as possible to prevent the attackers from getting this position. Now for castle, what you're going to want to have him do is you're going to want to have him run over to new balcony at the start of the round, and you're going to want to have him set up a bulletproof camera here. And then you're going to want to run over to red and reinforce this red wall. And you're going to want to castle off the CS double door here. Then you're going to want to put head holes on this bathroom wall, so that way Mira can take engagements on someone if they do try to push her from bathroom and stuff. Then you're going to want to put a castle barricade right here on the hallway looking at bathroom door, so that way they can't shoot your Mira while she's playing on the window. And then you're going to want to put a castle barricade right here. And then the last castle barricade is kind of personal choice. You can either put the castle barricade right here on this window, which is going to be nice for stopping the attackers from shooting this mirror window in the back, or you can put the castle barricade here. This will trap Mira in here, but it will force the attackers to burn through 2 castle barricades to even be able to see the Mira window from this bathroom window. I personally like to put my other castle barricade right here on CL window, but it's up to you. And if you're playing on a different map, you typically just want to put castle barricades in a similar way, so behind the Mira windows typically, and you're going to want to put them in areas where if the attackers can get control of those areas, they can counter your Mira windows. Now your final operator, Omai, is going to be in charge of setting up magnets in positions that's going to like stop the attackers from opening the castle barricades and for dealing with the mirror windows. So at the start of the round, you're going to want to have him just set up this area of the bomb site, because the rest of your team isn't going to be doing that. So you're going to reinforce this bar wall here, put holes across the top of this wall, and then you're also going to want to impact the default plant spot right here. Once you've done that, you're then going to want to set up magnets in the areas that I described. So you're going to want to set up some magnets like behind this couch, so that way they can't clear the soft wall here. They can't open the soft wall. And you're also going to want to throw some magnets like near this window in the hallway near bathroom, so that way they can't nade Mira while she's playing back here or send like fire bolts or anything. And then you're also going to want to set up some magnets over here for the same reason under this window, so that way the attackers can't force Mira out from behind her mirror window over here either. And then as Wamai, you're basically just going to choose one of these mirror windows and just play behind them, and you're just going to sit there throughout the entire round and just keep throwing magnets to protect your mirror windows. And for the bathroom one specifically, you can throw a ton of magnets near this soft floor, so that way the attackers can't see them, and when they go to shoot stuff in through cigar lounge over there through these head holes to try to clear the mirror window off, they don't see them and their projectiles end up getting caught. You can also throw them near this door if you'd like, so that way the attackers can't see them from new balc and stuff as well. It's entirely up to you, but you're just going to want to play from behind this mirror window and just periodically throughout the round continue to throw magnets in this room, so that way the attackers can't use any projectiles to clear any of the mirror windows off of the wall. Now our next attack strategy revolves around bringing a blitz, a finka, and then a third operator that's a little more map dependent and more useful on the specific attack strategy you're trying to do. In this case, on Oregon, since we're trying to attack the basement, bringing a striker with secondary hard breach charges and EMPs so that way we can get the wall open once we push in is going to be useful. But you realistically could swap that out with an ace. You could swap that out with a ying if you want. And it just kind of depends on what is useful for the specific kind of attack and bomb site you're trying to push. And the reason why this strategy is strong is because the finka can heal any explosive damage blitz takes. Finka can also make blitz ADS significantly quicker. And because of this, combined with the other operator that you bring, you can be really aggressive and start to take a lot of map control really quickly. You can use this to effectively roam clear. You can use this to effectively rush onto the site, which is what I'm going to be demonstrating here. But there's so much potential with this strategy. And for basement Oregon specifically, I'm going to recommend this for pushing in through blue. What you're going to want to have your team do is you're going to want to have striker drone into blue. Figure out if there's any mute jammers. If there are mute jammers, which they're normally going to be in this position somewhere, and also on this position near the shield. If there are mute jammers of any kind, you're gonna have Finka use her nades to nade the mute jammers, because hopefully your striker is gonna be able to call out their position. And then once you nade all the mute jammers, and then you're then going to coordinatedly immediately throw smoke on the head holes there, smoke on the door, and then you're just gonna run in, and you're going to flash the guy who's playing on the shield and take a gunfight on him as he tries to run through the rotate. Once you've taken blue, you're then going to have Striker use his EMPs and his hard breach charges to open the E-box wall. And also, if they manage to reinforce this rotate here, then you're also going to have them run over and make a vaultable hole inside of the actual bomb site wall as well. Now, once you found yourself in this position where you have the walls open, you're then going to want to put a drone somewhere on tower stairs, and then you're going to want to start getting prepared to push into the site and plant in this corner right here. And once Blitz goes for the plant right here, you're hopefully going to have Finka or one of your teammates sit on this hole in this wall, and then Striker is going to play inside of E-box and kind of hold the E-box area, so that way they can't just run from highway or something to kill you. And then since you have a shield on your back, they're not going to be able to shoot you from freezer. And then once you get the plant down, you're then going to get up and immediately try to fall back out of the bomb site and just play it safe from inside of blue. And then once they try to go for the defuse, you can run in and try to flash them and kill them on the defuse. Now, my next strategy revolves around bringing a Thorn, Legion, and a Melusi. The reason why this strategy is strong is because you get the shield on Thorn, you get all of Thorn's traps, you get all of Legion's traps, and you get all of Melusi's traps, which allows you to overwhelm the attack, get a ton of info, and also slow their take significantly. And strategies like this work especially well on maps with a lot of tight corridors that are really hard for the attackers to actually push. Maps like Skyscraper and Outback are great examples of this. And for the sake of today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I run these three operators on Tea Room and Karaoke. So what you're going to want to do with your Thorn at the start of the round is you're going to want to have them run over to Dragon and stack some reinforcements on the Dragon walls here. After you've reinforced Dragon, you're then going to throw a Thorn gadget right here on the bottom of the Dragon, so that way when they walk in, they hit this trap. You're then going to throw another trap right here. Then after throwing that trap, you're going to throw another trap right under this table here, so that way they hit that trap, they hit this trap, and then you're going to throw another trap right here on the stairs, so that way this entire area and Dragon is basically covered in trap. And if they're able to walk into Dragon, they're going to hit a ton of traps, be distracted, and you're going to be able to take a gunfight on them. And then you're going to put a deployable shield right here to watch the door into Dragon. And then you're going to want to reinforce this wall here. And then once you've done that, you're then going to want to reinforce this wall here. And after reinforcing that wall, you're then just going to play inside of Dragon on the shield throughout the round and take advantage of the traps that you placed. Now for Melusi, what I recommend you do with her on this bomb site specifically is make an impact, a rotate here, make a rotate here into Geisha. Then you're then going to go and set up a Banshee on black stairs here on this door. You're going to set up a Banshee on the Dragon door. Then after placing that Banshee, you're then going to rotate over to Drum and put a Banshee over here inside a terrace to protect you from anyone walking in through terrace. I recommend putting it behind this little counter here, so that way that when they're walking past, they don't see it. Then they step into it, they go to shoot it, and then you absolutely demolish them from Drum. Then after you set that up, you're going to put your last Banshee inside of Geisha on the double window right here. And then while you're in here, you can go ahead and reinforce these walls as well. This wall right here and this wall. Once you've reinforced these Geisha walls, you're then going to want to play as Melusi inside of Drum, so that way you can swing anyone that tries to walk from terrace to avoid Thorn. And so you can also take engagements on anyone who vaults in through Geisha. Now for Legion in the prep phase, you're mainly just going to want to have him use his shotgun to, help the team out. And then you're going to want to have him put his traps in areas around the map where he plans on positioning himself, and also in areas where Thorn and Melusi didn't already put traps. So at the start of the round, I recommend you going ahead and making a vaultable rotate into the mez here. Then once you make a vaultable rotate here, you're then going to want to put head holes on this wall, and then you're going to want to put lower holes right about here, not exactly full holes, but a little bit lower than that, or a little bit higher than that, into this wall. And you're going to want to reinforce this Geisha wall here, put a BP on the door right here, kind of low, so that way you can see through the footholes. And then what this allows you to do is it allows you to see people on the window. I kind of messed up and put the head holes a little bit too high, or put the foot holes a little bit too high. You want them a little bit lower than this, so that way the person on the window can't see through them. But yeah, what these holes allow you to do is they allow you to play inside of the tea room bomb site and kill anyone that repels into karaoke or walks into karaoke. It also allows you to take advantage of these holes here to look deep into a tea room and shoot anyone that walks in from this vaultable rotate. So that way, if Thorn or something hears that someone's pushing into the bomb site and they're planting, she can just shoot, dump her clip, and kill the guy on default plant pretty easily all the way from Mez. So it kind of forces the attackers to take the Mez side of the map. Then with your goos, you're going to want to throw a goo on terrace. You're going to want to throw a goo on the stairs here. You're going to want to throw a goo on black stairs. And then next to the rotate, you're going to want to reinforce this wall here. And then after that, you can kind of just put your goos wherever, but I recommend putting a goo inside of Geisha here, and then one near the breach. And then throughout the round, you're just going to play inside of Geisha as Legion take gunfights on people. And then if they try to rappel in through the karaoke window, you can just shoot them and get a free pick. Now, the next strategy revolves around bringing a Thermite, Thatcher, and a Twitch. And the reason why this strategy is strong is because you have the Thatcher to help you deal with the Cade and the potential bandits that'll be on an outside wall. You have Thermite to open any outside walls that you need. And then you also have the Twitch on top of that can help you deal with any sort of like tuberal canisters that get thrown onto a wall and stuff like that. Not to mention, Twitch can also be useful for dealing with any mirror windows that are actually inside of the bomb site, preventing you from going for a plant. And the bomb site I'm going to be demonstrating the strategy on is going to be attacking the gym bedroom bomb site, because this is probably the best example of a bomb site where this can be extremely successful. So at the start of the round, what you're going to want to do with your Thermite and your Thatcher is you're going to want them to rotate over to the jacuzzi wall here. You can also have Twitch throw a Twitch drone over to this drone hole, so that way if they have a two-brow or something, you can shoot the canisters off the wall as they try to do it. Or you can also shoot the bandit batteries off the wall if they're bandit tricking. And yeah, you're just going to throw an EMP on the wall. You're going to have Thermite open the wall, and then once Thermite opens this wall, you're then just going to have your Thatcher sit on the breach outside from jacuzzi, and then you're going to have Thermite go over to the outside jacuzzi wall here and open this up as well. You can have Thatcher throw an EMP here if necessary, if this is electrified, or you can have Twitch send a Twitch drone over. And yeah, you're just going to put a Thermite charge on this wall, and then you're going to rappel up onto the roof and blow it up as well. The reason why this wall is important is because if the enemy team has a Logi rotate, you can then shoot them as they try to leave Logi, because that's where you're going to be attacking from. You're going to try to drop Logi hatch, and you're going to want this wall open so that way you can hold this angle and stop anyone from rotating out of Logi. So Thermite's going to sit right here on this breach and stop any of the defenders from rotating through the rotate. There's going to be Thatcher stopping any Logi players from running through the door. So the only place they're going to be able to go safely is through that gold vault rotate, which is most likely where you're going to find any of the defenders that are inside of Logi playing. So you're going to send your Twitch over here to pop the hatch with her DMR, and then you're going to have her throw smoke grenades into the Logi area of the map after she's droned it and everything. You're going to have her throw smoke grenades in and then go for a drop. Once she goes for a drop, Thermite's also going to drop onto the con hatch here. Keep in mind, you're going to want to have Thatcher have the diffuser throughout this process, and Thermite's going to sit here on the con breach here and stop any of the defenders from running through this rotate and killing Twitch. And Twitch is just going to start getting active onto the site through the gold vault rotate and taking gunfights on people in the bomb. Thatcher can also start getting aggressive on the breach as well if necessary. And yeah, you're just going to take fights on anyone inside a con, and then Thermite's also going to try to take fights on anyone inside a cache. Then once you guys have taken the con area, the Logi area, and you also have Thatcher outside the breach, you're going to throw a drone on the flank, and then you're going to have Thatcher rotate up to the con breach here, and you're going to have him come over with the diffuser. You're going to try to take gunfights on people in bathroom, either have Twitch throw smokes or you throw flashbangs at the guy in bathroom. And then you're going to have Thatcher try to walk in and plant either behind this bomb or behind the mattress, one of the two. Whatever one works, and then you're just going to try to use smoke grenades and your teammates' angles to kind of cover this plant. Now, the next strategy revolves around bringing an Azami, a Wamai, and an Aruni. And the reason why this strategy is strong is because bringing the Aruni and the Wamai allows you to protect your Kibas that Azami is going to place around the map. That is going to help support your stack in holding down the bomb site and also holding down certain important power positions. My favorite bomb site to run this combination on is Aviator Games. And what you're going to want to do with Azami at the start of the round is you're going to want to run over here to study. You're going to reinforce these two bar walls here. You're then going to run over to main stairs and throw a Kiba kind of in this position here, maybe a little bit lower, right about there. And then you're going to want to put barbed wire on the main stairs here with a Kiba on it as well. And you're going to want to throw a Kiba right here on the window into study. And then you can throw another Kiba right here on the door into aviator. And basically what this does is it's going to allow you to play aggressively onto the main door, swing out on anyone who tries to walk into main, but it also allows you to easily run across and play aggressive on anyone who tries to walk in through the study door. And then your last Kiba can go right here on the edge of the couch. So that way you can have cover from those head holes over there when you're walking across into the site. But you can also still play aggressively onto the head holes if you choose to. And it doesn't completely cover the head holes because obviously you'll be able to just play close to this reinforcement and swing anyone off of this position. You can also put some of your Kibas on 90 if you would prefer and have someone play a 90. This is just typically how I set up my Kibas. I like to have a very aggressive setup onto the study side of the map. And then your last set of barbed wire is going to go over here on the red stairs. Now, once you've done that with a zombie, you're then just going to play inside of aviator, and you're just going to play aggressively on these Kibas you placed and kind of stop the attackers from walking into study as easily. And after a zombie, you're going to want to go Wamai, and what you're going to want to do with him during the prep phase, at least on this bomb site specifically, is just mainly set up reinforcements. So you're going to want to run over to 90 here and reinforce these, or this wall. You're then going to make the main rotate, and you're going to reinforce this right wall here, and you're going to reinforce this left wall here. Once you've done that, I'm then also going to recommend that you go over to bore here and reinforce this right wall and make footholes with your revolver here. Now, once you've set that up, you're then going to go back to study, and you're going to start setting up your magnets inside of study to kind of protect the Kibas that a zombie placed earlier. So throwing magnets on this main door is smart. Throwing magnets on this study door is smart. You can throw them on the windows here as well. And I'd also recommend throwing some magnets deeper behind the couch here and stuff like that. So that way, if they do end up burning through these Wamai magnets and they're able to, you know, get rid of some of the Kibas, and then they try to go for the wall, your magnets here will catch any ace charges or anything else that tries to go for the walls over here. And yeah, once you've set that up, you're then going to play behind that Kiba that a zombie threw on this little shelf here, and you're just going to play on top main stairs and kind of use that as a makeshift shield and continue to throw magnets over here to protect that Kiba that a zombie placed for you. And you're just going to play here for as long as you possibly can before eventually you're forced back. Now, as I said earlier, the final operator I recommend bringing is an Aruni, and then what you're going to want to do with her at the start of the round is run over to the AV wall here and reinforce the left wall and make head holes on the right. You're then going to want to run over into study, put a gate on the door here. You're then going to want to put another gate right here on the head holes, and then you're going to want to run over to the top red side of the map. You're going to want to put one set of barbed wire on the landing door, one set of barbed wire right here on the trophy door, and a Aruni gate on the bore door here. And then once you set up that gate, those sets of barbed wire and those gates inside a study, you're then throughout the entire round just going to play over here on the landing side of the map, kind of hold those footholes that Wamai made for you earlier, and also kind of swing off on anyone trying to push him from master and also from the deer side of the map. And then if people start pushing study really hard, you can also take advantage of that 2x that you have to swing these head holes here and to take fights. But the reason why you want this gate here is because it stops the attackers from being able to use like an Ash charge or a Zo charge to open up this soft wall, because they'll have to burn through this Aruni gate before they're able to open the wall. And then if you have that a zombie play close on this reinforcement, when she hears an Ash shoot an Ash charge, it'll cause this Aruni gate to go away, and then you can swing and take a gunfight on someone with their launcher out. And then yeah, if this gate goes away and they use like an Ash charge or something to burn through it, you can then have either a zombie peek past this doorway behind that Kiba that I had you place to kind of keep her from getting shot from the doorway and shoot this or you can have that Wamai that's over here playing on top main shoot it as well, but that's a little more risky. It's a lot safer to do it if you have a zombie swing out. But yeah, this is mainly just to make it even harder for the attackers to open up this study wall. And as long as you play off your utility and you guys position yourselves properly to where you're spread out enough and you don't have to rely on your randoms as much, you can pretty much win this round every time, because it's a lot harder to push study with those Kibas and everything that I set up. And over here is going to be a lot harder as long as you have your Aruni staying on top of anyone walking in through landing and trophy. Anyways, hopefully you guys found this video useful. As always, this video is strictly my opinion, and if you disagree, feel free to leave your opinions in the comments down below. Also, if you have some more strategies of your own in mind, feel free to leave them in the comments down below as well, because trust me, any help that you can provide to other players will be useful. If you enjoyed today's video, I make Siege content just like this twice a week, so go subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter if you don't want to miss the next upload. If you want to watch another video just like this one, a video be popping up on your screen right now that I'm sure you all enjoy. I'll see you next time, friends, and peace.